Alright guys, let's get back to it. So if you guys remember about this time last year, Leah, our plow truck, work truck, whatever, pretty much do it all. We had her all blown apart and we did a service on the truck and did a video on it. I've got a link on that down below. And basically this is what we're going to do again today. However, today I think we're going to get a little bit more intimate, personal. I've had a lot of folks that I've walked through this process with over the internet, over the phone, and walking into the actual shop, and they get the gist of it, but when it comes time to perform it and time to do it, it's a different story. Now this isn't a dig on anybody, so I figured let's break this down. Maybe somebody can learn something. Some of you are going to watch this and be like, "Ma'am, you already knew." Well, this video isn't for you then, bud, or lady bud. Okay, this is for somebody that doesn't know how to do it. Maybe they're a little too embarrassed to ask, so here you go. So let's get a little bit personal with it. First and foremost, get the vehicle up in the air, get the wheels and tires off of it. Just kind of do a quick visual inspection. Now we power washed this truck. Yeah, she's crusty. I know. What we have already done is we've already gotten under there. We've already drained the rear diff. I always recommend before you drain the rear diff, see if you can bust open the fill port, because well, you don't want to drain it, then you can't fill the damn thing. Going from the rear, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the brakes. We're going to inspect those. We're going to look at the pads. We're going to look at the slides. This truck goes off-road quite a bit, so the lubricant and stuff that gets used to keep the slides moving back and forth, these are newer calipers. Just kind of touch up on that. Let's face it, the quality of parts isn't what it used to be either. So we kind of we want to help it where we can, you know. So we're gonna end up checking these, greasing them, going over them. Rotors look a little bit less than ideal, but they're still functional. I mean, the truck's been sitting for a minute, so we'll see when we get in there. Grease our studs, chase the lug nuts through. You know, I always, because this has wheel spacers on it, I recheck the torque on those, make sure that they're good, and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and tear this down. Before we tear this down though, the rubber boots right here that go over the slides, before we break these 18mm nuts loose for the actual slide itself, I want to put some spray lubricant on this and kind of soften that rubber up a little bit. That way it's not completely dry and dehydrated, and it should keep it from ripping. And we're going to do the same thing. Well, let's just get this part off first.
Walking down the streets, feeling the breeze, in the sunshine state where dreams come with ease. Palm trees swaying with the ocean in view. This is the place where I always feel brand new. Sipping on a smoothie, chilling by the shore. Got my shades on, feeling like I can't be ignored. Sun-kissed skin, feeling so alive in the soft rap game. I strive to thrive. Waves crashing on the sand as I ride the vibe. Soft rap flowing, let the rhythm collide. I'm the king of this groove with the catchy hook. Got the ladies moving and the fellas shook.
Calipers off. You can see the blue marks in there. This is a newer caliper, but you can see the amount of mud and crud and stuff that's built up in there. On those rubber boots, it will dry them out. So, you know, we'll give her saucer up here just a little bit. Let her soak in some of that good. Now, even though that these brakes are fresher, they've been done recently, myself included. I've been caught in this before where it's like, I don't need to check it, I've just done them. But if you look at the difference right there, that caliper hasn't been sliding the way that it's supposed to, and you can see it right here with the slide. that thing is, it's crusty, it's dirty. Again, it's not sliding the way that it's supposed to, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull these slides off. We're gonna hit them with the wire wheel. We're gonna clean those up. Our slide pins themselves, those things look amazing, so that's good. I am gonna check and see if I can warranty these pads. I'm pretty sure that I can. So that kind of stymies putting this thing back together anymore the rest of the evening, which is what I was trying to do. Kind of sets us back, but again, this is why we take the time and spend the time to go over it and make sure that everything's good. You guys saw me put the grease on the studs here. Now, full disclaimer, not all manufacturers recommend greasing the wheel studs. The reason that I personally do it, and again, this is just me, you can take my advice or you cannot. I'm not a professional. The reason that I do it is because it keeps the threads clean, keeps everything from galling. You generally do it with heavier equipment, heavier trucks. Again, I do it with mine because I work the absolute piss out of them. And I service my truck. I service it in the proper intervals. And when I'm doing it in those proper intervals, I am checking the wheels. I am checking torque specs. I do all of that. Again, this truck, look at it. This thing is, it's a goddamn truck, all right? It lives its life off-road. It lives its life on the highway. It lives its life pushing snow, fixing equipment in the field. She does it all, and then plus all the rest of my bullshit around here too. So she does it all. So something to keep in mind. Okay, back to lubricating. So we have leaf springs, right? And we have our bushings and all that. Now, we don't want those rubbers to get completely shot, so we go ahead and we'll hydrate those little guys. Get them all nice and soft. We'll go up front. And the reason I do this, like you guys can, you can kind of see how it's damp up there. This stuff actually kind of stays with it. I mean, I try to wash this truck as much as possible. We do go down dirt roads and access roads and this, that, and the other, so not everything stays nice. Clearly, look how freaking filthy this damn thing is. But it does kind of help when we're having to work on stuff later. We hit the rubbers on our shocks. I am going to check our U-bolts here. We'll go ahead and we'll ping those, make sure that they're tight. Because if you look down in there, you catch a lot of shit inside of those cups, and they thin, they rust. So I'm probably gonna scrape that shit out of there too. But I always want to check, because this truck's only a 3/4 ton, but I've got it loaded down with tools and this, that, and the other, and it's kind of, some days it's not really fair to her, but you know, we just keep trucking. So we just wiped this slide off. We cleaned this one off by hand. She's really not wanting to focus for me. But if you look here, look how rusty, crusty, and well, it's not even rusty, just look how crusty and garbage that is. That's all mud and crud and stuff. You could see where the pad was sitting. This was sliding. This one wasn't. This one got eaten up. This one didn't. Or sorry, this one got eaten up, this one didn't. This one slid, this one didn't. So this one stayed fixed, which would, I don't know how to explain why it did what it did, but again, this is why we check these things and why we want to clean them up and re-lubricate them, because this wall of crud right here gets stuck, and then next thing you know, she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. Also, now that I've got light on it, it kind of looks like shit, but we wiped down the rubbers here. Gonna do probably a little better job on that now that I can see it in the freaking light. Wipe that down. We'll soak her down again. Let the rubber go ahead and absorb that. and then we'll get ready to reassemble it. Well, we would reassemble it if we had brake pads. You calm down. Since we're on the rear end and we drain the rear end, we're gonna go ahead and refill it. So we've got our differential fluid here. And honestly, the best way that I have found to do it, again, this is just me, is these fancy little bags. I get one of these, and it's my applicator, and then I just get a gallon of whatever I need from there, and I'll refill this. I've done the hand pumps, I've done the fancy funnels, I've done this, that, and the other, and they all just do the same thing. They make a mess. This works pretty damn good. So we got that, and thanks to the good folks at our local O'Reilly's, we were able to warranty out our rear brake pads, which means we have new slides. So get to do the old bada bing bada boom on this, and we won't have to worry about cleaning the slides because we've got fresh units. So let's slap this together and should pretty much just about wrap the, stay on point, Ray. It should be able to just wrap the ass end of this thing up.
Every step, every verse takes me close to the high. In the soft rap world where I spread my wings and fly. Waves crash, my wings and fly. Waves crashing on the sand as I ride the vibe. Soft rap flowing, let the rhythm collide. I'm the king of this groove with the catchy hook. Got the ladies moving and the fellas shook. Underneath the blazing sun, where the sky meets the sea, I find my inspiration, where I'm truly free. With each rhyme and each beat, I paint my own story. In this endless summer where worries turn to glory.
Well, that's pretty much our final product here. Everything's lubed, fresh pads. Generally, you guys saw me use the brake pad to push open the caliper. Generally, you're going to want to use the old one to do that. Don't do that with a new one, but it's mine, so, you know, whatever. I can get away with it. We greased everything really good. We hit the rubbers again when everything was put back together. Oops. Hold on a second. We lost our little bleeder cap, our little rubber there. So I'll do the same thing with this. I'll light that little dude up, cover it back up. A little bit of heat, a little bit of juice, and you can always get those back open. But yeah, like I said, everything's greased up, looks good. All the stuff in there, in here, went underneath the shocks, filled up the differential. We don't have the drive shaft in this thing right now for other reasons, but we'll get to that when we do. Like I said, this is greased, everything's torqued, checked all that over. I did put a little bit of focus, baby, focus, baby, focus. Did put a little bit of sauce on the contact points of the caliper, and then the contact points of the pistons in there, just to, you know, I don't know, I saw a buddy of mine do it a long time ago, and I just kind of stuck with it. And none of this stuff's rocket science by any means, and you know, usually every 10,000 miles I try to check it. For me, I do this twice a year. I do this before we start plowing, and I do it after we're done plowing, just because this truck she's just stupid busy. I do oil changes at 3,500 miles. Again, this is me and my truck, my shuck. Anyway, but yeah, fuel and trans 10,000 miles, the filters. But anyway, that's it. I hope you guys took something away from this. I hope you learned something. Take care, God bless, be good to one another, and we'll see you on the next one, folks. See ya.